Build a process-based business, not a people-based business. Hi, my name is Gollan, and for 25 years I've been coaching business owners to achieve epic business growth. And one of the processes that I get them to work on, or the mindsets that I get them to adopt, is to build a process-based business and not a people-based business. Most people go, what the hell? It's not about you're not building a people-based business? Yeah, that's going to be part of it, but it's not based on people. If you, let me get you into my mindset. So what we're looking to do, when you start off, you can have all of the, know everything about your business. And then you get a few people and you kind of share it. And then you get more and more and more, and you're trying to share and build what's called IP, intellectual property. You're trying to build that into each of your team members. The challenge with building IP into team members is what happens when they leave. It's in their head, you're dead, and so when they leave, they go and they take the IP that you've trained into them on a small scale, or the IP that's been trained into them from your team on a larger scale. The other thing as well, when you bring someone into your team and you're building the processes into their brain, because that's how most people do it, what happens is you take out a number of people out of their role just to train this person up, which is great because it gets the person up to speed really quickly, but it's taking other people out of their roles. So guess what happens to their roles when they're taking care of that person? And what happens to you? It takes you out of the play, and it takes them out of the play, lost productivity, lost sales, a loss of momentum because we're trying to get someone up to speed. Now, what if that person doesn't work out? Boom, they go. Because if it's in their head, you're dead. And the other part of it as well, if it's in your head and it's not documented, you're dead. So what we need to do is, rather than build people up that know the processes, we build processes, and then we hire the people that are going to be guns at running the processes. So if you have a process-based business instead of a people one, so you're here, your process is here, and then the customer's here. So, your team's going to run the processes, then the customer. So let's go back. I kind of lost my track a little bit there. So let's go a step backwards. So what you're trying to do is have a process-based business rather than a people-based business. How do we do that? Your processes are your systems, right? P is the same. Process is kind of similar to people, so it sounds a little bit better. So what you want to do is have your processes or your systems. So how do you do that? Well, Loom video is the best stuff that I use to create processes. You just Loom it, so you can have it on your phone or you can have it on a computer screen. And what you do is you document what it is that you do. And don't set time aside to do that. Just use the video doing your day-to-day stuff and get your team members to record what they're doing on a day-to-day process. So it's just done in the flow rather than setting a time to sit down and go through all your tasks. So what you want to do is you want to capture via video the processes that people are doing. So it gets it out of their head and it gets it documented. So then you rule. Because if someone leaves, it's not in their head, it's in the process, it's in the system. So then you can get someone else in, and then they can plug into the system to learn the processes. So instead of someone getting on board and coming in and you partnering them up with 2 or 3 of your team members to then go and learn for the next 1 to 3 months, you give them an onboarding where they can go into the system to learn each of the processes and then have some sort of tests or some sort of evaluation. But the biggest evaluation is going to be in the tests and the trials that they do from learning those processes. And you and all your team will be able to see whether they're up to speed. It happens so quickly. The big part in here is if you can hire a person that has the performance profile that is matched to the processes they need to follow, you're going to get someone that comes in and just sets the place on fire. So I'm talking about a pretty big process here in terms of one of the system to get the systems in place, but also to hire someone with the right profile to perform the processes. Because if you get someone with the DNA, just the absolute natural ability to follow these processes, you will set the place on fire. You just do not need to look after them. And what happens is when you hire someone with the right performance profile for the processes you've got in your business, they just come in and they learn like that. They learn it once. Why? Because it's in them. It's their DNA. They're just made for that type of profile. Made for that type of process because of their profile. What's a profile? You might do Colby, you might do Myers-Briggs, or you might do DISC. I've developed my own profile. I call it my performance profile, where any team member will come in and we can test them out of 100% for various areas of their profile, and that percentage is what my clients are looking for. They will know the percentage for each of the different areas, so we map it out for them. So when someone comes in and applies for a position, they do a performance profile, and we'll know within 10 seconds whether they're suited to that job role or not. It's just within seconds. So when you know how to find the right people, to put them into the right positions, and they've got the right process to follow, it's fire, baby. It is just fire. And that's how you can, it's one of my big things that I do with clients to help them scale to astronomical heights. I work with Big Commerce. They had 15 staff, and I think it was about 2, maybe 3 years later, there was like 500 plus using this process. So it's such a great little process. So what do we need to do? The overriding principle I wanted to talk about in this video was build a process-based business rather than a people-based business, because when the people go, so does your processes, because it's in their head. Rather than that, document your processes and feed your team in with the right performance profile so that they learn the processes or the systems, and when they've got the natural ability to do those processes, they need to learn it once. And when they're learning it, no one else is helping them. So your ability to keep scaling and keep growing is infinite, because you're not taking 2 or 3 people out of their roles to get this person up to speed. So how do you start? Just get Loom. Get Loom on your mobile, and get Loom on a screen and a computer screen, and just start filming what it is that you do. What I get my clients to do is we just start films. We start a Loom list on their phone. So any task that they do during the day, I just get them to put it down on a Loom list. And we work on the highest recurring tasks first, because that's where most of your time is going to get shifted to other people. That's task transfer. That's probably another video that I'll talk about. But build a process-based business rather than a people-based business, because when people go, they take your IP. When you have a process-based business, you've got a set way of doing things. You can bring people into your business and up to speed super quickly. You don't fear people going on, because you don't have to retrain everyone. You've just got it in your system. And the culture piece within your business is, have you followed the system? So rather than the questions coming to you or one of your team members to answer it for them, we've captured it and we've put it into the system. So your new people or your existing people will go to the system to find the answer rather than you or the other team members. Then when there's processes that aren't already in the system, we just make a Loom list of it, and then we film it in real time and we add to it. So we're always updating the processes in the system that your business runs on. It's gold. It's complete fire, and this is the throw-on effect from this is completely liberate you from your business and your key team members. And it's good. It's real good. Thanks for listening. This is Casey. Let's do epic. Talk again soon.